Hey everybody, today I'm going to be playing at the week of November 14th through the 20th, 2022 in my MakseLife Undated Vertical Planner. I am once again filming a little ahead of time because I will be out of town for my grandmother's memorial service, among other things, when this goes live. And this way I can get my week kind of figured out ahead of time, which I already said, and just sort of be ready to hit the ground running because we get back at the ass crack of dawn Monday morning and need to jump right back into life. The trip is scheduled short on purpose for that reason. I'm going to be using another 2 weeks in a row this last week, and as you can see, I'm still in the middle of this last week. I put my voted sticker down, etc., but I used a Krissyanne Designs Celebrations Collection kit that was Thanksgiving because this is also the week of this last week was the week of my family Thanksgiving, and this is the fall set. You can see I sometimes give myself heads up as to what I'm doing. So this is the fall page from the 2022 Celebrations collection, and then I got some of the add-ons. According to the forecast, it's going to be chilly, but still kind of fall-like. So we'll see how it goes. I really liked the setup that I did this week with covering the bottom up and kind of moving things around so that I didn't have a full bump going on up on top. I guess the big difference is that I may not use a full week's worth of full boxes because I actually have more going on this week than I did last week. I've got another appointment at the dialysis center, among other things. So let's just get going. I really like the look of this leaf washi tape. So I think I'm gonna, like the washi strip or however you want to call it when it's in a kit like this. Not really washi tape. It's not its own roll. I don't know why there's semantics. And then I'm gonna do, instead of using the fat washi to fill the bottom, I am gonna use these pumpkins, I think, to fill the bottom in, because that way I do have room to write my dinners in. I didn't do that this past week because I knew for the whole weekend I wasn't gonna have to worry about dinners. I mean, I was gonna be eating, but it's gonna be out of town. But this week I do want to get back to tracking what meals we eat each day in my daily planner, or at least attempting to. So that is going to be my story, and I'm sticking to it. I think I am going to divide off a section for my to-do list this week, and I'm going to give myself a little bit extra space. Again, knowing that I will be catching up. One of my recent sort of planning epiphanies was that if I limit the amount of space on my to-do list, because I have discovered using my weekly planner for my daily to-do list is the most helpful, but by limiting the space, it keeps me from overscheduling myself. The problem is sometimes I need a little bit more space, and so I'm going to give myself a little bit more, and then we'll just use the sidebar for anything else that crops up. And one thing I have done in the past that I didn't do recently was cover up these little hearts with illustrations from the Celebrations collection, and I think, sexual. I think that's what I'm gonna do right now is grab, how many leaves do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 leaves, so I can do fall leaves to cover up the hearts. It just gives a way to decorate, add some little bits and pieces here and there. I'm not always good at remembering to use decorative stickers. I tend to be somebody who is a much more functional planner than decorative. I say as I'm slapping washi tape everywhere, but generally speaking, most of the stickers that I use on a weekly basis there's a function to them. And I am not saying that there is no function in using decorative stickers. Far from it. I love to use decorative stickers for things, but I tend to prioritize stickers that have some kind of a function on top of how cute they are. And you can argue that covering the little hearts up with these leaves, I wanted to cover the hearts up, so maybe that's the function that they're serving, but it's nice when I can get a little bit more whimsical in my planner because that doesn't tend to be my MO, I think is what I'm trying to say. All right. Let's get these sides both set the fuck up. See if I can do a better job than I did last week of centering these date covers, because last week I just sort of started slapping them down without stopping to think. And then by the time I did, when you pull up a sticker, even if it's a reusable, like a removable sticker, if it's on top of whiteout, it becomes a whole messy situation that I just don't want to deal with. I feel like the only thing that's really kind of throwing me is the white across the top seems to stand out a bit more than if I had used the color ones. But then if I used the color ones, it might have started to get a little bit more chaotic. So I'm not really sure. I'm not going to put my weather in yet. I will put it in when we get here on Monday, because I'm not going to bring my planner with me. I usually don't, because I like to know a little closer. It just is helpful. You know, you would think it's to help RJ get dressed in a way that's more appropriate for the weather. But this fucking kid, what is it with high schoolers and middle schoolers who don't want you to know that they own a coat or maybe pants? Like, he could live his entire life in his uniform, which is basketball shorts and a hoodie and sneakers and like socks and and don't ever forget the baseball cap, RJ. If he doesn't have a cap on, he fucking loses his shit, and the cap has to be very specific. So yeah, the point is, though, looking at next week, we're supposed to be like starting to get down into like the land of like the teens for our lows. So hopefully that means more snow coming soon. But in the meantime, I'm not going to worry about that right now, but I will put in my habits. I'm using, to go with this kit, from I think it's the like pastel dot pen singles, Butter. And it actually looks perfect with this yellow, so it's making me very happy right now. I'm going to use this Steve full box and put it right here for Let's Get Cozy, since I am planning to just put meals here once I figure out what they are. Thinking about meal planning when we're on the airplane. That might be it. Especially if I pay for the Southwest Wi-Fi, then I can use Pinterest. We'll see. We'll see if I think that's worth it or not. Okay, let's get going with the actual plans for the week. So Monday, first thing in the morning, we are flying back in. So I'm going to definitely use this Good Morning Sunshine sticker, because we will be getting back in. Like, we got our hotel. We're staying in an Airbnb with our family for the majority of the time. Not that we're going to be there that long, but for the first couple nights we're in Washington State, we're staying in an Airbnb with my sisters and their families. And then the last night, my baby sister's doing the same thing. We're getting a hotel at the airport so that we can get there, because our flight is at the literal ass crack of dawn. Maybe what I'll do is I'll put this in here, and we'll use a coffee cup for the flight, because it's going to suck. Definitely going to need to go to the grocery store. Definitely going to need to unpack and do laundry. So that will probably be the majority of the day. So what I maybe will do is put down a half box for grocery shopping, since I'll probably need to do I haven't gone grocery shopping this week. I mean, I've gone about a few things, but I haven't done like big grocery shopping because I didn't want to add extra shit, even though, again, we're not going to be gone that long, but I would rather just not restock the fridge until we get back. So I'm thinking that I will definitely be hitting Trader Joe's. I will definitely be hitting King Soopers, and I will most likely be hitting Costco. So whether I do them all in person or unfortunately, or maybe fortunately for the staff, knowing how TJ's handles their inventory levels and everything, like, from my years of working there, the thought of doing like Instacart or something through TJ's sounds horrifying based on the way that TJ's runs their shit. It just does not sound like a good time. So I am not somebody who is super rooting for them to do any kind of delivery, because I just know it would be a hot fucking mess. However, Costco, generally speaking, if I am exhausted and I can't anymore, like I'm basically at the end of my physical limit, which is often the case, Instacart for Costco is very helpful for me. So there is that. And I'm going to leave the rest, this little tiny bit, blank, just in case there's anything I need to add. But I am definitely going to put on my to-do list for that Monday, call school. I do plan to call the school ahead of time and let them know that RJ will be, because he doesn't get any time off for Veterans Day, which is really not something I was expecting. That is kind of, especially considering like all the Army bases around here, or like the Air Force base or whatever. Like that just was not something I was expecting. But he's out of town for a funeral, for my grandma's funeral. So I'm going to call them ahead of time, but I'm going to call the day of as well, just to make sure that the message gets through. They use an automated system, and sometimes it can take a while to update. So I want to make sure that that is, in the bag. All right. Tuesday, I have nothing on my schedule. I'm not doing a patron stream that day because I figured this was back when I had originally set my calendar for the month of, November. I had been anticipating going to Florida for the Sugary Gal shop and then going to this 2 weeks in a row and knowing I was going to be a wreck. I did not know I was going to be going on dialysis. I still expect to be a wreck, but I also know that Tuesday is a day I really want to catch up on work. So that will totally be a thing that's happening. I also am going to throw in a Procrastiplanner sticker to note that there will be a video that day going live. And if you don't know, it'll be one of my semi-annual reminders when sales are upcoming kind of videos to give you sort of a game plan for Black Friday. If you will, a game plan, or perhaps a pep talk, however you want to put it. My desk is a hot fucking mess. Cleaning my desk is definitely on my list for today, the day I'm filming this. Why can't I ever put these down straight the first time? I don't understand that. I think it's just because I can't see the shape of the little like rounded rectangle. Maybe this is a good tweezer sticker. The shape of the little rounded rectangle can be difficult to see with my like nails in the way. So anyway, so that's for Tuesday. And so the only thing I have on my list for Tuesday currently is work catch up. So maybe what I'll do is throw a full box on here. Sometimes I like to throw full boxes on just to fill up the space so that I don't have the room to fill it up with other things. So I'm just going to write, maybe what I'll do is I'll grab one of these little blank BBs. We haven't figured out Layla's walks yet either. It just depends on if Jess is planning on going to work or not, like to the office that week. And that's something I will add in when we get closer. This week, we didn't even plan Layla's walks, the week I'm currently in. I'm sort of adding them each day based on what is necessary for our life. Also, in case I didn't mention, this is a Microperm 03 marker that I'm using for Krissyanne Designs stickers. Anyway, I'm going to leave Tuesday. The only thing I'm putting on my list is that I'm going to get cash because our cleaners are coming on Wednesday, and I like to tip them in cash. And I apparently, anytime I have cash, somehow it just goes missing. I don't know how that works. I don't know. Okay. Wednesday, the only thing on my list currently is the cleaners. I guess that's something to put on Tuesday as well, is to just tidy up the house. If you've ever had people come to clean your house, you know that you make sure that your house is clean for the cleaners, so that they can actually spend their time deep cleaning as opposed to tidying up your bullshit. Jess and I were having a conversation about finances coming up with dialysis, and I'll talk more about that as we get closer, but we did decide that having the cleaning people come every other week is going to be a priority for us, both because it takes a massive weight off my mind. Now, I am not the only person in this house to keep the house clean. Jesse can help clean. Sunny is not fit, like physically fit, to do a lot of heavy labor, and Jesse works a lot. I am in no shape to do a lot of cleaning. RJ is by far the most able-bodied of the four of us and has the time to do cleaning, but I don't want him to be Cinderella, right? So, we still keep the house clean, but the cleaners just keep it, like, they help keep it from getting really grody around the edges. And so it is a priority for us. There are other things we will deprioritize to keep that happening. But I'm going to leave the rest of Wednesday blank for now because I don't know what else would go on there. Thursday, I also have a video going up, so we'll do that as well. And hopefully by the time I get back, my Moxie markers will have arrived. So Thursday's video is going to start as one thing, but if the Moxie markers have gotten here, then if I can get the video up in time, which I'm not going to try and force it. Like, if I am still feeling awful, I'm not going to try and force it. But I really, really, really want to get them next to some mild liners and do some comparison. It's like high on my list of things where I'm just like, yes, Mr. Burns hands. Excellent. But we do have other things going on Thursday, and it's the thing I need to put on Wednesday as well, is to remind RJ. Thursday, he will be walking home from school because Jess and I will be at the dialysis clinic. That is the big thing happening them thar hills. We use this orange guy to go to dialysis. It's, okay, so the first appointment that I had, the one that I had, was it going to be 2 weeks ago at this point, is a kind of an introduction, kind of onboarding to the center. You meet, not the whole care team, but I got to meet, and I'll do a video kind of more in depth. I like to do videos kind of taking you through the process because for me, that kind of thing is helpful. And if anybody else ever has to go through this, then that would be helpful for them. I really want a kidney sticker for this. Hold, please. My shitty kidney stickers. Anyway, so yeah, I do like, the first appointment was we got to meet the social worker and the dietitian and the dialysis nurse. We got to see the center, familiarize ourselves a little bit with the machines, kind of like and there was a lot of things we like talked about that I already knew, right? Things we already sort of knew from previous times with getting ready for dialysis. However, it was really good to go in. This appointment that Jessie is going with me is another multidisciplinary appointment where I'll be meeting with the team, the whole care team, including the dialysis nephrologist, who's the kidney doctor, and the main hemodialysis nurse, who I haven't met yet. And this is to evaluate me to make sure that I'm a good candidate for home dialysis. Now, they told me at the, I'm putting this sticker with this little fox here, because we're going to be dropping Layla off at daycare while we're at this appointment so that she gets some time with other dogs as opposed to being stuck in the crate the whole time we are there. Anyway, so yeah, I'll get to meet them. They'll check me out. They do think I will be a great candidate, both because of my age, my overall health, aside from kidney stuff. We have a house that's set up for it. I have a good partner in Jessie. Various things. So, but fingers crossed, because if they say no, then I'm doing dialysis in a center, which I will do because I really want to make sure I don't, die, but I would prefer to do it at home. I will also add, dialysis is one of those words that just looks wrong to me. Normally, words that look wrong to me, I have to write them a whole bunch, and then they look wrong to me. This happened a lot when I was working at TJ's. Organic would start to look really strange, and during the holidays and like the fall, pumpkin would begin to look really weird to me. But dialysis from day one has always looked weird to me. Supposed to be a 2-hour appointment. And then I'm just going to put in a little thin skinny just to remind myself that RJ is walking home that day. Now, Friday, I actually have a lot happening. For one, I want to vlog on Friday because I want to talk about this appointment, but I don't want to vlog the day of the appointment. Maybe I'll vlog the day of the appointment. So maybe I won't put vlog in here at all and we'll see how I'm feeling. But aside from that, Jess has to take Layla to a nail appointment. I am not taking her because I will be somewhere else. I will say one of the unintended consequences of Layla getting her nails done once a month at the vet is that it has made her much more comfortable at the vet. She had to go in earlier this week because she was limping on one of her paws and there was no sign of like a cut or any burr or anything. We think she sprained her foot running around at the park. So Jess took her to the vet And instead of being at all hesitant, she walked right up on the scale. She let the vet handle her feet. So taking her in to the vet once a month for nails both saves us the stress because neither of us are in any, neither of us feel comfortable dremeling her nails down, but we need to keep them under control. And the vet only charges like $10 or $15 to do it. So it makes more sense to do it this way. It's helping her get better being handled by people who aren't us, which has always been a little bit of a stressful time for her. The other thing I've got going on Friday morning is I am going to get x-rayed. I have been struggling really hard with my knees, which have always been a problem for me, but they have gotten worse in the last year or so, where they're not only like popcorny when I go up and down the stairs, but they are just achy a lot more, and they are now more tender to the touch. But also my hips, especially my right hip, have really been hurting. And a big part of that is because I have been in bed and I sleep on the same side because of my fistula. But the deep ache. So my doctor just wants to check for arthritis. We looked for rheumatoid arthritis because of my age, but that's not there. So he thinks it might be like standard old osteoarthritis, which could totally be a thing considering that my sister started suffering from arthritis in her early 30s. And that is everything I've got on Friday for right now. I did forget to put on Tuesday. It's also payday. And I need to put that in there so that I remember to do the transfer of funds. And then on Thursday is just trash day. Saturday is going to be a fun day. I want to decorate in the morning, and I'm not going to do all of them. I'm going to be decorating over the course of a couple of weeks, I think, but I'd like to get our big tree up. I want to get our sheets washed, and then Saturday is also Jesse's and my dating anniversary. We'll have been together. Our first official date was in 2009, so 14 years, question mark? Is that right? No, 13 years. I can do math. So I grabbed this happy anniversary sticker from the Celebrations collection. Our current plan is to go to, use this I love you, a bushel and a peck sticker. Our current plan is to go to a Brazilian steakhouse here in the Denver area. It's one we haven't been to yet. Keisha Glam has been to it, and she says it was good because we were severely disappointed. We went to Fogo de Chao, which is supposed to be like the really nice one. We were not happy with it. It was not that it was awful, but the service was mediocre, the food was mediocre, and for the price, it was just disappointing. We just weren't thrilled with it. So I'm hoping that this one is good. We're not going to take the kid. The kids also really like Brazilian steakhouse, but we don't want to take them and pay for them to go just to have them be like bitch about not liking it. I'm looking at RJ right now. He makes no secret of the fact when he doesn't like something. So we will take him somewhere like that when we know that it's going to be yummy. You know, this blows my mind that I actually live in a house that's big enough for this. Like when I grew up in our like little house with our unworking plumbing, you could never have told me that I would live in a house big enough to have a tree for the family with our family ornaments and then a tree that's purely decorative, but here we are. Put up big tree. And the reason I'm doing the big tree first is both because it's not our like sentimental stuff, all of our family ornaments. It's all matching shit, but it takes a while. My sister also taught me when she was here, because we bought it when they were all here last year. She taught me how to do that like ribbon thing where you cut the big ribbons and you kind of tuck them into the tree. So it just takes a while. So that is going to be my weekend. And then we'll just put wash sheets on my to-do list. Now, ideally, I have this on my list to get my new table stuff this week because the big tree's in the same room as the dining table. However, I need to go to Home Goods or something because Target has not had anything that I have enjoyed for this. So, but I'm not going to put that on here quite yet until I know. It might be a Monday thing or it might be a Friday thing. But when we get closer, we'll put it on there. And then finally, we get to Sunday, and I will finally be back doing my live streams on Sunday. It has been 85 years. That's what it feels like, at least. And you know your desk is a mess when you have to look through like 300 piles of stickers to figure out where the ones you want are. God damn it, this one went down crooked too. I don't know why I'm putting check boxes. I guess I'll check these off when I do them. So our live Plan With Me's will be back next Sunday at 3:30 p.m. Mountain time. I know what fucking time zone I live in. Barely. But that is everything for this week that I have so far. So I'm really enjoying kind of the setup here. I love the colors. And I think that this will be a nice way to kind of walk back into my week. Hopefully, what I will do over the next couple days as I think of things is add either here or on my phone if I'm in Washington for my to-do list so that I can go into Monday and do the things I need to do getting home, but still be able to take it easy a little bit. That's my hope. I would love to hear from you in the comments below. What is one thing that you do on a regular basis that you would prioritize over a whole bunch of other things for your own mental health and well-being? For us, two of those things are the cleaners and getting someone else to do Layla's nails. The benefit they bring to our life is so much more than what we pay for them, to the point where we would, if we had to cut our belts real tight, we would find as many ways as possible to cut back before sacrificing those things. So what is it that you have in your life that you would keep at the top of your priority list, even if you have to let so many other things go? I'd love to hear about it. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, friends, peace.